Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a very cold week so far here in eastern Montana. It's been like -15s at night and about 0 during the day at best. So I've been in this nice heated shop all week, been working on a project. Behind me I got our Case 245 tractor, and hooked onto it is our John Deere beet planter. The project on the beet planter I've been doing is we are changing row spacing. Forever and ever, we've had 24-inch rows, and what that means is the space between rows is 24 inches. But now we're switching it up. We're going to go to 22-inch rows. I recently purchased a piece of machinery that I'm going to disclose in a later video, so that's going to be a surprise for now. But because of that new piece of machinery, we have to change our rows to 22-inch, so that's what inspired this project. This beet planter is a 12-row, so each one of these units plants a row. And what we used to have is, it used to be 24 inches from here to here, in between all of these units. But now what we have to do is switch each unit to 22-inch between each one. So each one of these units is going to be 2 inches closer together. It doesn't seem like much of a project just moving each one 2 inches, but there's actually a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts that have to work together. I've actually been working on this project the last 2 days, so this half of the machine is already switched over to 22, and this half over here I'm still working on. That's why it looks all cattywampus. So I'll mount you guys up somewhere. You can watch me work on it. Okay, that's pretty close to where we need these end 3. I still need to move this one over, but this bar here for this wheel is in the way of this one, which means I need to move that. But first I have to cut this weld so I can move this whole bar over here, and then I can move this unit that way. It's kind of like a puzzle. This is the transmission for the planter. There's a bunch of gears here and a couple chains. Depending on what gear the chain is on tells the planter how many inches between seeds. And this transmission used to go in between these 2 rows, but now that we're 22-inch spacing, there's not room for the transmission here. So I had to take it off, and I'm going to move it, put it out here on the end. Now I'm going to cut that weld off for that square tube going back to the wheel, so we can move that over and then re-weld it back over here. what it's supposed to look like when it's done. See how that vertical one is welded to the edge of this horizontal one? That's what we got to do. That's why I cut that weld off. We're going to move this whole vertical one over to the edge and weld it over there. So I got those welds cut. Now I put a jack in between here. I'm going to jack up, and if I cut those welds correctly, this horizontal one is going to raise up. Like that. I'm glad I had my safety glasses on for that part. This is the tractor we plant beets with, and since we're switching row width, that also means we have to switch how wide the tires are on the tractors. This tractor straddles 4 rows on the front, which means it'd be 96 inches from this wheel to that wheel, because 4 times 24 is 96. But since we're narrowing up the rows to 22, it means the front axle has to straddle, I think it's 88 inches. So each front wheel has to come in 4 inches. But the good news with this tractor is we have a 4-inch spacer right here. So all I got to do is take the front wheel off, take that spacer out, bolt the front wheel back on. That's going to be one of the easy ones. We also have 3 more tractors to do, and not all of them will be quite that easy. So that's what I'm going to work on now. So the front tire here should be the right spacing now, but see how the back 2 tires are out just a little bit. So those will also need some attention. Those need to be moved in some. But that's a project for a different day. Well, it's a short little video just showing you what I've been up to this week, doing some shop work. If you think you know what I purchased, which is making us switch all of our row width, leave a comment down below.